So we will discuss current affairs. First thing, 10th April is very important in history. 10th April, because on that day Champaran Satyagraha. On that day Champaran Satyagraha was started by Mahatma Gandhi. Here Champaran is in Bihar. The first Satyagraha of Mahatma Gandhi. In that there is an issue called Tinkatiya system. 3/20th of land. 3/20th of land. Minimum 3 parts out of 20 parts we have to cultivate indigo. Gandhi fought against that. 10th April 1917 is Champaran Satyagraha Day. Mahatma Gandhi launched Champaran Satyagraha over a century ago. April 10th, 2018 marks the end of centenary year celebrations of Champaran Satyagraha. Throughout the year we have celebrated Satyagraha Se Swachhagraha campaign. Throughout the year we have celebrated Satyagraha Se Swachhagraha campaign. It is a part of Swachh Bharat mission and Open Defecation Free India. It is a part of Swachh Bharat mission and Open Defecation Free India. Satyagraha Se Swachhagraha. It is a part of Swachh Bharat mission OFD India. On 10th April 2018, Prime Minister Narendra Modi addressed National Convention on Swachhagrahis at Motihari. On this occasion, Prime Minister launched various water supply and sanitation projects. Various water supply and sanitation projects, which is very important. So, Satyagraha Se Swachhagraha based on Champaran Satyagraha, which was started on 10th April 1917. Throughout this year, from 10th April 2017 to 10th April 2018, we had the Swachhagraha campaign. Okay, next. There was a news from Ministry of Housing and Urban Poverty Elevation. There is a news from Ministry of Housing and Urban Poverty Elevation. Recently there is a forum, 3R forum. 3R forum, number 3R forum, to help enter Asia Pacific region. To enter Asia Pacific region. It's a Asia Pacific region forum. 3R forum to help enter Asia Pacific region to explore and address. The ways to utilize waste. The ways to utilize waste as a resource. How we can use waste as a resource. The 8th Regional TR Forum Summit was held at New Delhi. It was held at New Delhi. So, India is also collaborating for helping the Asia Pacific region to use waste in a proper way so that a resource can be created. It's a very important thing. Addressing the forum, the senior economic affairs officer said that public and private stakeholders should partner in this important thing, and we have to use particularly municipal waste, all other waste to resource. We have to create the waste into resource. So coming back to again important current affairs, Valmiki and Malhar languages were discovered. 2 new languages were discovered. One is Valmiki, second is Malhar, M-A-L-H-A-R, W-A-L-M-I-K-I, Valmiki, and second is Malhar. 2 new languages discovered. The languages are categorized as endangered. Both Valmiki and Malhar languages, they are categorized as endangered languages. These languages are spoken in Andhra Pradesh and Orissa. Valmiki and Malhar languages are spoken in AP and Orissa. And Valmiki is spoken in Koraput of Orissa. Orissa, Koraput district. Valmiki language, Orissa, Koraput district. And the bordering districts of AP also. Bordering districts of Andhra Pradesh. Valmiki is an isolated language, very isolated language. Only a small family will speak Valmiki language. And people claim that the Valmiki language have come from poet Valmiki, and the family which speaks the Valmiki language is the progeny of poet Valmiki. That was a story. We don't know whether it is right or wrong, but this is Valmiki language. Next language is Malhar language, M-A-L-H-A-R. Malhar spoken in the remote areas 165 kilometers away from Bhubaneswar. 165 kilometers away from Bhubaneswar. There are only 75 speakers of Malhar language, including children. There are only 75 speakers of Malhar language, including children. The Malhar language is belongs to Dravidian group, particularly the North Dravidian subgroup of Dravidian languages. The North Dravidian subgroup of Dravidian languages. That's called Malhar language. Valmiki and Malhar. Orissa and Andhra Pradesh. Remember that. Both are in endangered list. Anyhow, one day they'll go into extinct, but still it's very important. Next. There are various articles in newspaper from last 2 days. The very important article is India-Nepal relations. India-Nepal relations. India-Nepal are basically, we should understand that they are neighbors. We can choose our friends, but not our neighbors. They are our neighbors. We both are neighbors. And initially, the border between India and Nepal has been defined by a treaty called Treaty of Sagoli. The border between India and Nepal is defined by a treaty called Treaty of Sagoli. Shasastra Seema Bal guards, SSB guards India, Nepal, India, Bhutan borders. Basically, there is no much border dispute between India and Nepal. Apart from few villages and few rivers, nothing is there. Human trafficking, particularly women trafficking, is an issue. Apart from that, there is a cause of concern for India, Madheshi issue. Madheshis are the minority groups who are located in Terai region in Nepal, and they have many family and cultural contacts with India. Madheshis are considered as half Indians. They are considered as half Indians. In 2015, Nepal made a new constitution. When this constitution was made, there was some injustice to Madheshis, and India strongly objected it. India wanted the constitution should be fair to all citizens, including Madheshis. Then Nepal thought that it was intervention by India, and in the aftermath there was an issue, and there was a blockade for 5 months. Trucks and other vehicles have not entered into Nepal. There was a rupture in India-Nepal relations from 2015 because of this Nepal's constitution and blockade. And now the new Prime Minister, Mr. Oli, have come to India as an official visit, and he told Nepal is not a landlocked country but a land-linked country. Nepal is not a landlocked country but a land-linked country. As such, India-Nepal borders are open. There is no much restriction in India-Nepal borders. And Nepal have two big neighbors. One India, second China. And all our neighbors have a card now, China card. And China is using its soft power with our neighbors. Now, It's a time to renegotiate various things with Nepal. Oli's first post-election visit is to India. Oli's first post-election visit is to India. Friendship first, friendship second, and friendship third. Friendship first, friendship second, and friendship third. A first step to reset the India-Nepal relationship would be updating the 1950 Treaty of Friendship with Nepal. Updating the 1950 Treaty of Friendship with Nepal. Nepal's youth are aspiring for job opportunities in India. In fact, many Nepalis are working in India, and you have to acknowledge it. And Nepal also should have acknowledged it. And now India has to deliver many things in India-Nepal relations. Road link, rail link, power projects, and other reconstruction projects of Nepal. Definitely, in future, if you work with our neighbors, India-Nepal relations will be a very great relationship and a glorified relationship in the neighborhood. Let us hope the best. And next important article in the newspapers is broken houses. Broken houses. The functioning of the parliament, either Rajya Sabha or Lok Sabha. Both houses adjourned sine die. Adjournment sine die means postponing without giving further date. Except the budget, no much bills were passed in Lok Sabha. Only gratuity bill was passed in Rajya Sabha. And not even 10% of the house time is being properly used. Entire rupture with respect to no confidence motion. In fact, Speaker suspended all the time, but have not actually acknowledged the motion. There is lack of proper parliamentary etiquette and decorum. And Parliament is a house. It is almost like a temple of democracy. But whether India is a democracy is a big question. Where Parliament is not only for voting, Parliament is for qualitative deliberative debates on very important public issues. And Parliament and Speaker should accommodate this to the MPs rather than always suspending the House. And it has become a political weapon to use Parliament for vote bank politics rather than for constructive debates. What we need is good parliamentarians and good parliamentary courtesy, and should not waste the Parliament time. Should not waste the Parliament time, because all Indians aspire and send the representatives, hoping the best from the Parliament. But unfortunately, Parliament right now have become a mockery sometimes. And what we need is good etiquette. On the walls of the Parliament, there was a famous Sanskrit quote. There are many quotes. In one quote, I will give the meaning. Keep the doors of the Parliament open. You are there to serve the people. You have to address the needs of the people. You are there to serve the people. You have to address the needs of the people. But this Parliament, most of the times, run with minimum quorum. Quorum means Q-U-O-R-U-M. The minimum number of members present to conduct the House is called quorum. For a Parliament, either Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha, the quorum is minimum 10%. Most of the times, we will see very remote presence, very low presence of most of the MPs in the Parliament. And nominated MPs in Rajya Sabha, you all know the fate. And there is a lot of criticism about nominated MPs in Rajya Sabha. And you all know recently Sachin Tendulkar donated entire his salary to the Pradhan Mantri, Prime Minister's Relief Fund. Okay, all these things. So it is the job of the new generations to uplift the image of the Parliament by promoting qualitative debates in the Parliament. Next article, which have received news in the recent past, which got attracted in the recent past, was the Dalit issue, the SC/ST atrocities case. There are two arguments. One is, on the one side, people say Dalits are being humiliated, their rights are diluted. On the other side, there is an argument that the act is being misused. What we need is inclusive society rather than allegations and counter-allegations. The government has to work for inclusive society. Lula da Silva, the former president of Brazil, was arrested for corruption charges in car wash case. Lula da Silva. Right now there is a news that in Brazil, the democracy is fragile. The democracy is very weak. In Brazil, the democracy is fragile. The democracy is very weak. Next important article is about the draft forest policy. The draft forest policy is not that fine as expected. In this article, there are various issues that were discussed. Number one, the Compensatory Afforestation Fund Management and Planning Authority. More than 50,000 crores are there in Kampa, but no much action is being taken to use the Kampa funds. For this year films, Kampa is very important. More than 50,000 crores are there in Kampa fund, but not being properly used till now. Second is the Forest Rights Act. Yes, the act is guaranteeing many things. The implementation is also very important. The third thing, as you all know, tribals' rights are under threat. There is a place called Niyamgiri in Orissa, Niyamgiri Hills in Orissa, where Dongriya Kones, a tribal group, are actually made to fight. They fought to the last to stop a mining company there, Vedanta mining company. So all these things shows people are right now properly aware of their rights. We have to actually protect the people's rights. Next, Triple Talaq Bill. Triple Talaq, Talaqi Biddat or instant Triple Talaq has been considered as unconstitutional. The parliament had a bill relating to Triple Talaq, Muslim Women Divorce Bill, where if a man gives Triple Talaq, he will get 3 years imprisonment. This was the provision in the bill. If a man gives Triple Talaq, he will get 3 years imprisonment. This is the provision of the bill. And many are criticizing the provisions of the bill. The bill is not yet passed. Coming to the other article, there was much news about Facebook. And surely there is a data breach. This week, Mark Zuckerberg is going to appear before 2 congressional committees. Before that, various articles wrote various things about data breach, the sophistication in science and technology. There are nano robots which can enter into human blood in the body and can actually transmit the information what is going on inside the human body. There are nano sensors which can tell to the doctor the health parameters of the patient. In each and every domain of human life, science have become, actually it's giving many things, but at the same time, in the name of science, we are losing our private life, privacy. Science is intruding into each and every part. Technology is getting into each and every aspect of human life. The data which we give to various sites, it might be Amazon, it might not be Google, it might be Google, it might be Facebook. All these sites will collect our data through big data analytics. They will target us for marketing and pinpointed transmission of data. Based on our choices, based on our various queries, based on the data given by us, they will actually target us. They will actually target us. All these things actually have a different perspective. In individual's life, there is nothing like God like private life. And it has gone. It was gone. An example was given by the author in the article. Young daughter of a father is getting regular messages to purchase baby products. And the father got angry and went and sued the shopkeeper. To the surprise of the father, the daughter was pregnant. The daughter was pregnant. To this extent, things were gone. She might have searched some site regarding pregnancy, and that site might have given some information to the shops where there are child products, baby products are sold, and these shopkeepers use this data to send messages for their marketing. So there is nothing like private life and everything, and there are no secrets in the 21st century. And mostly, as it was told in the article, the young generation, the children tomorrow, they are called Mars generation. They are called Mars. They are in the Mars now. They know everything. They can do anything. So the best of the best. The other also quoted Science and Engineering Festival Expo in USA, where future science, how the future science will be. As I told you on some other day, tomorrow the technology might go to any extent. We can speak over phone without having a phone in the hand. Our hand might become a phone. And whatever we are thinking in our brain, it might be resounded outside. Whatever your brain is contemplating, it might come outside. Suddenly there will be a speaker, it will speak what Mr. Joel is thinking. Okay? Anything might happen with the science. So this is what. And definitely Facebook is responsible. 87 million, right? 87 million users data. In India, around 5 million users data was being compromised. It seems. Nobody knows the exact data. Nobody knows. And recently, there was a ranking. National Institution Ranking Framework 2018. National Institutional Ranking Framework. As you all know, Indian Institute of Science topped, and IIT Madras and technical institutions topped. There are around 3,900 institutions participated voluntarily in the National Institutions Ranking Framework. But this framework is very important for choices, selecting the subjects. At the same time, not all the institutions participated, and most of them are private. And already the excellent institutions like IITs, IIMs are on the top. The need is to create the world-class institutions in India rather than counting prematurely. All these things are written in the article. Okay, these are the important current affairs from the last 2 days. All these are the important current affairs. Okay, we'll stop.